don't know how much time they had to plan, right? You think that they had time to plan, at least for maybe Wyatt. What was their backup plan? I guess maybe they thought Styles was the best idea. I don't know, but it would have been having a little more foresight to it to try to prepare. Would have been a better way to go for them.
There are so many other ways to me that I think you could have done this. I mean, like you said, with Bray Wyatt, it's been how many weeks? How many weeks have we known that he's been hurt, right?
2 weeks in a row. I think they said he wasn't at Raw, and they must have either taped or filmed, those backstage promos that he was doing against Finn.
Right.
That was all that I know of. So again, there's been different things. There was a rumor that he has meningitis. I don't know if that's true. There was a rumor that he has a lot of heat on him with the company because of the whole situation with he cheated on his wife with JoJo, and now they're dealing with all the legal stuff. And
I forgot
supposedly has some. That's the rumor is that he has heat because of that. Is that contributing to the fact that he hasn't been at the show? I don't know. If I can't imagine it's that bad, or maybe they just kind of decided to keep pushing it through, and they were planning on having him show up and job to Balor, and then who knows what they were going to do with him after that. But I guess whatever between last week and now, it was determined that he can't work on Sunday. So,
and just looking at the Raw roster, I mean, I don't even know where you could have. I mean, oh my God, it just booked itself. I booked it. It just came to me. You want to shock the audience? You want to give them their money's worth?
Jason Jordan.
Son of a bitch. That's exactly where I was going. Broken Matt Hardy against Finn Balor. That would have been tremendous. You have some gimmicky package, and all of a sudden you hear delightful, the music plays, Broken Matt Hardy. Damn it, man. Come on, Vince. This is armchair quarterbacking at best.
Did they ever settle all that stuff with Impact?
You call him fractured, call him splintered, call him dumbass Matt Hardy for all I care. You bring him out in his robe with his hair, say delightful, $1 million. It's $1 million idea. Aside from that, I mean, there's other matches you could have put on the show. I mean, you could have Elias Sampson and Apollo Crews wrestle for the 403rd time. Because looking at this card, you want to just get into the predictions? Because looking at this card right now, this is not going to take long.
Yeah,
this might take 5 minutes.
Yeah, there's only 7 matches listed, and one of them is the pre-show. So.
And these matches, sorry to say, these matches suck. I'm not giving this on paper might be the weakest pay-per-view I've ever seen. I'm sorry to say, I'm not trying to be Johnny Negative Pants. Nobody wants to be Johnny Negative Pants. He sucks. But looking at this card, we'll start from the bottom, work our way up. This is brutal. There's no name, notoriety, and I just think the WWE, like Gallows and Anderson, not even on a card this thin, you don't even have Gallows and Anderson on there. You could have done something with Finn and Gallows. God, there's so much opportunity, and you squandered it for Kane, for God's sake. Man, I'm heated. It's definitely the coffee. All right, let's start from the bottom. Let's start from the pre-show match. Sasha Banks versus Alicia, crazy like a fox. Sasha's beaten her, 3 times in a row or twice?
Twice, I think.
Twice in a row. I've got a feeling Alicia gets a sneaky victory here on the pre-show because there's really nothing else to do with him.
Oh, Banks.
Done deal. Next, Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James for the Raw Women's title. You know, this is all the makings of Alexa Bliss. I don't know. I forgot Asuka versus Emma was on the show. So there's actually 3. There's 3 women's matches, 2 cruiserweight matches.
Correct.
And then the other 2 cluster matches. Okay. Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James. I don't like this. You're anti-bullying and you keep coming to Mickie James for her age. I think she looks quite delightful at her age. Alexa Bliss is going to win this match. I think it'd be a really cool moment if Mickie James won. Because Alexa Bliss has been vulnerable in the past. She lost it. Didn't she go back and forth with Sasha in 2 nights, right?
Yeah, she lost to Sasha, I think, was it back-to-back nights?
Or the week after, whatever it was close.
It might have been one of those things where Sasha won it on Raw, and then she won it back at the pay-per-view.
Right, I think that's maybe what it was. But I would like to see Mickie James win it. I think she's looked really good in the ring. And Alexa Bliss is a a beast as a champion. She's held the title. She's done great things with it. But you probably are gonna keep her strong to have her wrestle Asuka. So I'm gonna say Alexa Bliss keeps it.
Yeah, I think it's probably just a holdover for right now until they get things onto Asuka. So I would imagine that it's all going to build to that eventually. The whole Nia Jax situation probably threw a wrench into some of these things. My understanding was that it was supposed to be Nia Jax against Sasha Banks instead of Alicia Fox, but that's changed due to her quote-unquote leave of absence. So, but I think Alexa will win and retain.
Yeah. Next, I guess we're going to go to Kalisto, Cruiserweight Champion versus Enzo Amore. I don't know. I think this is tough because Enzo just he's got a posse now, right? He's kind of like the Mean Street Posse.
Yeah, I think I thought the original idea was that it was going to be on him for a longer period of time than it was.
Do you think they realize he's terrible in the ring?
I'm pretty sure they're aware of that.
Okay.
But I don't think they care enough about
in-ring work,
the Cruiserweight title to
gotcha.
make sure it's on. I mean, they had it on Neville for like a long time, right? And then they took it off of him, and they had Enzo win, and then they turned him, and then they were going to have Enzo beat him again, and then he walked out. So.
Yeah, I guess I think Kalisto's going to keep it, actually. The more I think about it, I'd like to see Kalisto keep it and maybe Enzo get out of the title picture in total.
I would like to see Kalisto keep it as well. I really don't know.
This is so wishy-washy, right? I keep thinking it can go either way, but they just don't care enough about it to do anything. Although he did just change the color of the title, so maybe that'll give some credence to Kalisto keeping it.
Yeah, I'll say Kalisto keeps it too then.
Could not begin to care any less, though, I'm going to be honest with you. Next, we have, you're right, Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann, CNC Wrestle Factory, against Brian Kendrick and Gentleman Jack Gallagher. This should be a great match. Probably on paper, well, the second best match on the card in regards to talent-wise. Cedric's been awesome in 205 Live, what I've seen in really fast highlights because I don't watch it. And him and Rich Swann have a lot of good chemistry together. So I guess we're going to take a caller. Let's see who's on the line for the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. You're on the line.
How's it going, guys? This is Tom. Hello?
Good, man. How are you? What do you want to talk about?
Not too much. I'm literally just tuning in, so you guys let me know what you're talking about. I can probably just chime in. I'm sure you're talking about the TLC changes.
Yeah, we're talking. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. There's a lot of last-minute booking and some changes that had to be made. I think the biggest question mark is why is Kurt Angle coming back out of nowhere? What's your take on it? Well, let me ask you something. You're reading you see what's happening with the breaking news. What would you have done in the situation if somebody came up to you and told you that Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns were out of the show?
Someone told me Bray Wyatt was out of the show. I would have cracked open a bottle of champagne. And
ouch, that's brutal. Ouch.
The greatest moment of our lives. But that would have been the first thing that I would have done. If they would have told me Reigns is out, I mean, look, obviously it's a much more challenging thing. And look, in the short run, am I excited to see Angle get back in the ring? Yes. But in the long run, which is basically how you have to look at WWE at all times at this point, this is such a microcosm of all their issues, which is every single year the WWE has to bring back old timers, and I'm saying this in the sense of I'm more talking about the Balor Styles match than I am about Angle, though I think the Angle thing is a troublesome thing too. Every year at a WrestleMania, the WWE brings back old timers, and everyone complains and they say, "Why are you bringing back old timers? Why don't you bring the young guys? Why don't you give the younger people a chance, or why don't you give the everyday performers a chance?" And you're seeing exactly why they can never do that, and that's because they stupidly throughout the year, every year, give away and shove down our throats the matches that could actually fill a WrestleMania card. So in the last month, in the last basically calendar month of 30 days, the WWE will have given away Lesnar, Strowman, Reigns, Cena, and now Styles, Balor, which if I told you that was the WrestleMania 31 or 32 or whatever WrestleMania this is, if I told you that those were the three main events on that card, you would at least with a straight face have to say, pretty good, right? Like, that's not terrible. That's not the greatest, but it's like pretty good. And They've given away all of those matches, making them all now essentially meaningless. The fact that they're about to give away Styles Balor, like think of what this match could have been with like actually keeping Styles with the Bullet Club, with like the Bullet Club essentially, and keeping him a little bit strong, having a feud go on between Balor and Styles. I mean, like this match could have been so big with two marketable, popular guys. Balor's can't miss. The only good thing I can say about this is that I think this might actually save Finn Balor getting away from Wyatt and not having to do this match. Well, we may look back and say, thank God. But still, like them doing this, especially in an era where they're no longer having to sell pay-per-views, they're selling subscriptions, which most of us forget we have anyways, and we're just going to pay them the $10. Like it doesn't make any sense. And like it's just like their business is run like they're really good at branding, and they're really good at marketing, and they're very good at production, and they're very smart on kind of like how they monetize their business, but they are so poor.
Tom, let me cut you off real quick. I want to jump on something you were saying. They're giving away these big matches for free, and I completely agree with you. And I think Roman versus Braun in the cage last week was a great example of that. But don't you think since they split the brands and you have 3 hours to fill every week that it's going to start kind of getting repetitive? I mean, there's really nothing else they could do. They have to get people aren't watching. The ratings are down. People aren't watching the shows as much anyway. So I think they're caught between a rock and a hard place because you have to be able to pull the people in for the weekly show and then get people to tune into the network. But at the same time, you don't want to give away your best matches, but you got to get people to tune in. So to me, I think that's why they bring back the people that they bring back. But I think to your point, it could have been done a lot better, maybe given a lot more time. But I also don't think Vince views Finn Balor and AJ Styles the same way that us, the fans, view Finn Balor and AJ Styles. And the same goes for viewing the Bullet Club the way I think it's a disconnect with him in regards to the Bullet Club and how important they are and how over they are. So I don't know if Vince McMahon exactly sees why that match would be such a big deal.
Well, he absolutely doesn't, but therein lies the problem, right? So what you're saying is correct on one end, but on the other end, they put themselves in between this rock and a hard place, right? They saw themselves as this live sport that was going to be able to generate fantastic ratings because that's what still is able to generate ratings in an era of all DVR and on demand and Netflix and whatnot. And they're not live viewing, right? Like many people, like no one would tape a basketball game or a football game really and go back and like read the recap on the internet and then go watch like 27 plays that were awesome, right? But like wrestling, it's like they throw out 2.5 hours of garbage and maybe like 10 minutes that's worth watching, and so you go and you fast forward to that point, right? So it's like they overestimated their own product. They put themselves in this spot. The brand split was okay, but like it's still the fact that Vince doesn't view those people like that is crime to him. I mean, the guy just doesn't. I guess what you have to do is take it out of the wrestling context and put it into regular business context, because the guy's trying to run a business. And it'd be like if Starbucks had a drink that every single one of its or 90% of its customers loved and absolutely loved it, and they couldn't sell enough of it. And Starbucks decided, no, let's add piss to that drink, and let's make sure everyone drinks this drink that they only kind of like, and we'll only feature that one, and we'll make it impossible to find the other one. And when people do drink it, we'll make it undrinkable. And like it's almost a direct correlation between that and what they do with their own product. Like it's kind of stunning to me. And like not to even bring politics into this, but like after watching Donald Trump, who I do kind of think is Vince McMahon, I think they're pretty much the same exact person. If you look at their behavior through the years and their friendship and relationship, I think they're the same exact person. Everything I used to think was ridiculous about the WWE and just couldn't be true, I now find 100% true. No matter the most ridiculous thing we think, I think is 100% true. I think this is a company where the buck stops at Vince McMahon and he's disconnected from everything and will do anything to get his own viewpoint across. And it's hampering the product, and it's been hampering it for years. And like, is this going to be kind of exciting on Sunday? Yeah, but they're kind of running out of these bullets. I would say, what are they going to do next? They're going to bring back Shawn Michaels or something. It's just, what's next? What do they have left? They're ruining the only stars really that are getting over are ones coming from